The story of Saint Leonard.
Subscribe to our channel to receive more content like this.
Imagine a time long ago during the 6th century, in a world filled with rulers, battles, and great castles. But amidst all this, there were also quiet heroes, men and women whose actions didn't echo through the halls of power, but whose hearts and courage changed the lives of many. One of these heroes was Saint Leonard, a man whose compassion and courage helped shape the way we understand freedom, mercy, and kindness. The story begins in a faraway kingdom, where a young man named Leonard was born into a life that seemed destined for something great. He was born into nobility, which in those days meant that he was well educated and had a life of privilege. But Leonard wasn't interested in the gold, the status, or the comforts of noble life. He was moved by something much deeper, his faith and a powerful desire to help those who were suffering. Leonard grew up and became a monk, but he wasn't just any monk. He lived in a small, humble monastery where he dedicated his life to serving God and others. He was known for his kindness, his deep faith, and a heart that was always open to those in need. His devotion to God and to others was unshakable. One day, while living in the monastery, Leonard heard something that would change his life forever. A powerful king, known as King Clovis, had been out hunting. He'd captured a group of prisoners, men who had been wronged by the state, men who were locked away, some for minor offenses, others for nothing more than being at the wrong place at the wrong time. The prisoners were being treated terribly. They were chained in dark, cold cells, barely fed, and left to rot. King Clovis had ordered them to be treated this way, and it seemed as though they had no hope of freedom. But Leonard, filled with compassion, couldn't stand the thought of these men suffering. He believed that every person, no matter how lowly or how much they had sinned, deserved mercy. So he made a bold decision. He walked straight to the king, entering the royal palace with no fear and no hesitation. This wasn't the kind of thing most people did in those days, especially not someone of his humble station. When Leonard stood before King Clovis, he didn't beg or ask for permission in the typical way. Instead, he made a request that was bold and full of faith. He asked the king to show mercy to the prisoners. He argued that they deserved freedom and dignity no matter what they had done. And, surprisingly, King Clovis listened. Perhaps the king had been moved by Leonard's sincerity, or perhaps he had never had anyone speak to him like that before. Whatever the reason, Clovis agreed to free the prisoners, and Leonard was able to secure their release. But Leonard didn't stop there. His compassion for the suffering didn't end with just one act of kindness. From that day on, he became known as a protector of the oppressed and a champion for the imprisoned. After that moment, Leonard's fame spread, not because of his power or riches, but because of his deep love for others. He spent the rest of his life helping people, especially those who were imprisoned or marginalized. Leonard even went on to establish a special place near the monastery, a sanctuary where prisoners could find shelter and safety. In time, Leonard became known as the patron saint of prisoners and captives. His life was a testament to the power of mercy, compassion, and standing up for what's right, even when it's difficult. Leonard didn't fight with weapons, but with love and a fierce belief in justice for all people, no matter their background or station. What can we learn from St. Leonard's story today? Well, there's a lot. First, it reminds us that sometimes real strength doesn't come from power or status, but from our willingness to stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves. Leonard didn't have an army or a throne, but he had something even more powerful. He had the courage to do what was right, even when it was hard. It also teaches us about the importance of mercy. In a world that often feels quick to judge and punish, Leonard's life was a reminder that forgiveness and compassion can heal wounds and offer hope to those who feel forgotten. Finally, St. Leonard's story is a call for each of us to look beyond our own lives and see the suffering around us. It challenges us to be more like him, not necessarily to free prisoners, but to show kindness and to work toward justice wherever we see need. St. Leonard's life may have been lived long ago, but his story is timeless. It speaks to the deep human need for compassion and justice, and it challenges us to ask, how can we, in our own way, bring mercy and kindness into the world? Like Leonard, we may not have the power of a king, but we each have the ability to make a difference. And in a world that often feels divided, that might just be the most powerful thing we can do. St. Leonard lived his life with a heart full of compassion, and through his actions, he taught us that true greatness comes not from what we have, but from what we give. His story reminds us all that the greatest power is not in ruling over others, but in serving them with love and mercy. And that, truly, is a legacy worth following.